This is Bean Counter Dave, and today I'm going to give you a video tutorial on how to open up your own Indiana single member LLC in 15 minutes or less. So we better get started.
The first step to start your business in Indiana would be to go to the nbiz.in.gov website. Once you're at this website, go ahead and click the Search Now button, because the first step is to find out if the business name that you've chosen is available. So go ahead and hit the search. Go to Business Entities, and then go to Business Name. For illustrative purposes, we're just going to use Bill's Roofing. Okay, go down to the bottom, do a search. And it looks like there's a couple other Bill's Roofing companies in the state of Indiana. Now you could do something like Bill's Incredible Roofing or Bill's Amazing Roofing or something a little more descriptive that could set you apart from Bill's Roofing.
Keep in mind that the number one reason that articles of incorporation are denied is because of naming violations. So you don't want to make your name too close to another company's name where there could be some confusion in the market. And then you also would not want to name it too close to a government organization like CIA or FBI. And then you don't want to use anything misleading like bank or attorney. So just keep it simple.
Let's just go back and let's try our last name. If our name is supposed to be Bill Smith, let's do Smith's Roofing. Okay, so let's search for that. Okay, no data is found. So it looks like Smith's Roofing is available in the state of Indiana.
Okay, great. We now know that your business name is available. This might be a good time to go ahead and pause this video, go off and get yourself a Gmail account or a Hotmail account using your business name. And then you could also go out and make sure the domain is available for your website. So go ahead and pause it, and once you're done doing these things, then come back to the video.
The next step, return to the nbiz.in.gov website, and this time hit the login button. Scroll down and you will see at the bottom, towards the bottom of the page, there's a Sign Up Now button. Click that. On the left-hand side of the page, you'll see a step 1. Go ahead and put in a valid email address that you created for your company and send it a verification code. Once you receive that verification code, you should be able to set your password, log in, and then you'd be able to fill out your first, last name, all of your profile information. Once you've done that, then return back to the inbiz.in.gov website. And now go back to the login screen. Once you're at the login screen, go ahead and log in, and we'll proceed to the next step. Once you've logged in, you'll be at your dashboard. At your dashboard, look up at the top and there's a link that says Start a New Business. Click on that. On this screen, it just gives you some basic information about starting a new business. Go ahead and click Next. On this screen, it will give you two options, Guide Me or Frequent User. Let's select Frequent User since I'm going to guide you through this. On this screen, it's going to give you several options, Domestic Entity Type or Foreign Entity Type. You're going to want to select a Domestic Entity Type since you're from Indiana, and then select Limited Liability Company. Make sure you don't select Limited Liability Partnership or any of the other selections. Make sure it's on the right one, and then go ahead and hit Continue. Then it will ask you if you've reserved a name for this business. Go ahead and select No, and it will give you another chance to look and see if your name is available. So our name was Smith's Roofing, and then you want to make sure and put LLC, L.L.C, or Limited Liability Corporation at the end of it. I usually just choose LLC. And then you check the availability. It goes out and does another check. It shows me that the name is available. Hit Next. Okay, on this screen it's going to ask you for basic business information. I've already filled this out just for the sake of time, but you can hit pause and go ahead and fill this out. So under business information, you want to go ahead and use the email address that you already set up. And then you're going to want to pick the time period that your business is going to be in operation. For most people, that's just going to be perpetual because you don't know when your business is going to end. If you do know a date whenever you want your business to end, like 5 years from now, you could go ahead and put that date in. And then effective date would be now, and then effective time would also be now. And then you can go ahead and fill out your principal office address, which is either your office address or your home address. So let's just go ahead and pick a fictitious address, and then we'll hit Next. Okay, under this is registered agent information. You're going to want to select that you're an individual, and then you're going to want to create an agent. On this screen, it will let you fill out the information for your registered agent. So you'd want to use your personal information most likely, unless you're using somebody else as your registered agent. So you'd put Bill Smith, your email address that you set up earlier for your company, and then your home address or your office address if you have one. Use that same email address down here at the bottom for the service of process information, and then click the box that acknowledges that this address can be used for electronic service, and go ahead and click Save. Once you hit Save, you'll see that the registered agent information is here on this page. So go ahead and scroll down to the bottom of the page, and on the bottom right, click Next. On this screen, it's going to ask you if you want your LLC to be managed by a manager. The answer is most likely no. The only time you'd select yes is if there's multiple members with one active member and a bunch of passive members for tax purposes. And then it will also ask you if this is a single member LLC. Let's go ahead and select yes, unless you do have other partners that you're coming into this with, in which case you can select no. Now down here under principal information, you can fill out the principal information for yourself. If you have multiple members, then you can do this several times. For most instances, your principal is going to be a member. Now you could select president or vice president or one of these other designations, but for the most part, it's easier just to select member. And then go ahead and say Save Principal. Now if you do have president, vice president, if you have several different people, you could select that in this, but as a single member LLC, member is good enough. So let's just go ahead and click Next at the bottom right. Here it gives you a chance to attach additional articles, and this would be if you're like a professional company such as an attorney's office, an accountant's office. In this case, we're a small business or roofing company, so let's just go ahead and click Next. Now it gives you a chance to review all of your information and make sure that all of it is correct. Once you review it and you're happy with everything in it, then go ahead and click Next. On this page, it will ask you for a digital signature. Of course, after you check the 3 check boxes that have all of the disclaimer information. After you read through those, go ahead and click all 3, and then select your name and select your title once again as member. After you've done that, go to Add to Payment Card.
Congratulations, you've just successfully filed for your Indiana Articles of Organization. That is step 1 of 2. Now let's go file for your federal EIN number so that you can open up a bank account. Holy cow, we gotta get going.
For the next step, you're gonna want to get your federal EIN number. To do that, let's just use Google and let's type in federal EIN online. And the reason that I do that is if you go to the IRS website, there's so many links that you have to go through to get to it. This is just an easier way. Okay, now what you want to make sure of is that it is an actual www.irs link that you're going to go to. Sometimes there's ads up at the top that will take you to websites that are going to make you pay for filing for your EIN number for you. Don't fall for that. This is something that's free. So go ahead and click on Apply for an EIN online. You'll come to the official IRS website. Make sure once again it's the official IRS URL. Scroll down and you'll see this Apply Online Now button. Go ahead and click that. Once you reach this page, you're going to get this warning message from the IRS saying that basically they're going to use your information and that they're capturing all the information that you enter. Go ahead and click OK. And then go ahead and click on Begin Application. This page will ask you what are you trying to get an EIN number for. In this case, it is a limited liability company. Go ahead and click Continue. And then it's going to give you some information. You can pause this to go ahead and read through this information. Once you're through pausing, go ahead and hit Continue. It's going to ask you how many members are in your LLC. And for my purpose, it's 1 member. If you had multiple members, go ahead and put in 2 or 3 or however many you had. And then go ahead and pick the state which you have registered, which would be Indiana. Go ahead and click Continue. Here's another page that will give you information on the tax classifications for single member LLCs. And if you want to file later on to make your company an S corporation, or C Corp. But for the most part, once you read through this, if you want to hit pause, go ahead. Once you're done, go ahead and click continue. It's going to ask you, why are you requesting this EIN number? Go ahead and select starting a new business and then hit continue. And then here, go ahead and fill in the information that it asks you. Now, it will double check your Social Security number against your name. So you want to make sure that that is correct. And then down at the bottom, you want to choose that I'm one of the owners or members of the managing member or managing member of the LLC. And then go ahead and click continue. The next screen is going to ask you where your LLC is physically located. So go ahead and select your home or your office, whichever place that you want all of your mail to go to. And put in your phone number as well, if you have a business phone number or your personal cell or whatever you want to use. And if you have a separate address that you want your mail to be sent to, you can go ahead and select that here. For this purpose, we're just going to go ahead and say no and hit continue. It's going to look in its database and see if it can find any other suggestions for your physical location, such as a better address in case you put ST instead of street or AV instead of avenue. But you can go ahead and either edit the physical location or accept it as entered. We're just going to accept it as entered. On this screen, it's going to ask you a little bit more about your LLC. It's going to have you put in the name of your LLC that you put in the articles of organization, so you want to make sure that they match. It's going to ask for a doing business as name, which we haven't filed for one at this point, so let's just leave that blank. The county where the LLC is located, in this case we're going to put Howard. The state is Indiana, and the state where you filed your articles of organization, which is what we did in the first step, so you'd want to pick Indiana there. And then the date that you wanted to, or that you started your LLC, which is November of 2020. And then go ahead and hit continue. On this screen, it's going to ask you a little bit more about your LLC. You might want to read through each one of these, but for the most part, they're all going to be no, with the exception of the bottom question. It asks you if you're going to have W-2 employees. In our example, we're going to say no. But if you think that you will have W-2 employees, you can go ahead and click yes. So let's hit continue. Now, once again, it's going to ask you a little bit more about your business organization. And for a roofing company, which is the example that we're using, we're going to go ahead and pick construction. If you're another type of LLC, read through these and pick the one that most suits your type of business. And then hit continue. And then it's going to ask you a little bit more about your company to kind of narrow it down since we picked construction. On this, we're going to say that we're a roofing company. And then we're going to hit continue. Okay, on this screen, it's going to ask you how you want to receive your EIN confirmation letter. Do you want to receive it online or do you want to get it in the mail? In our example, we want to go ahead and get it online because we want it right now. So go ahead and hit continue. Okay, now it's going to ask you to verify all of your information and make sure that it's correct for you. Once you've verified everything, then go ahead and hit submit.
Okay, don't do anything else. Take a look at this last screen and you will see there is your PDF file for your EIN number. So what you're going to want to do is print that off several times and save it to your hard drive. You're going to want to keep that in a secure location because it's kind of like a Social Security number. And you're also going to need that several times throughout the year as you're setting up your business. So that's it. You're done. You've successfully set up your Indiana Small Business Single Member LLC. Now what you need to do is go down and file for your bank account number, and then you can get started. I almost forgot. Please, if you found any value out of this video, please like, subscribe, make some comments. That keeps us being able to provide this kind of content for you. We really appreciate it. Now go off, start your small business, and remember, it's not only important to make a profit in your small business, but it's important to keep it too.